Welcome back to Explain the Charts, everyone. Today, September 13th, 2025, we're cutting through the noise to bring you an in-depth analysis of Litecoin. The crypto world is buzzing with anticipation, primarily driven by the ongoing developments surrounding a potential spot Litecoin ETF. News sources like Dailycoin and Decrypt highlight a strong possibility, with Bloomberg analysts projecting a 90% chance of ETF approval this year, specifically a decision expected by October 2025. This is a massive bullish catalyst, setting the stage for potentially significant price movements. Adding to this optimism, we've seen substantial institutional interest, and MEI Pharma, for instance, integrated Litecoin into its treasury with commitments exceeding $100 million and even rebranded to Lite Strategy. Canadian firm Luxfolio also plans to raise 100 million Canadian dollars to expand its Litecoin holdings, signaling traditional finance moving into LTC. Fidelity enabling clients to invest in Litecoin through IRAs further solidifies its growing mainstream acceptance. Now, let's turn our attention to the charts and see how these real-world events have translated into price action. Looking at the one-day chart for LTCUSD, the period from May to September 2024 paints a picture of consolidation with some significant dips, mostly ranging between $70 and $85. Notice the sharp drops in mid-June and early August, where price fell to around $60 and $56 respectively. These high-volume sell-offs likely presented accumulation opportunities for larger investors, aligning with news reports of whales accumulating LTC during this time. A critical turning point occurred around October 15, 2024. This date, correlating directly with Canary Capital's initial S-1 filing for a Litecoin ETF, saw a substantial green candle, indicating a clear market reaction to positive regulatory news. Following this, November 2024 initiated a strong uptrend, with Litecoin breaking past the $80 and $90 resistance levels, marked by high-volume surges on November 14th and 16th. This momentum carried into early December, pushing LTC to highs near $140, a level that was previously identified as a potential target in some market analyses. However, this impressive rally was met with profit-taking, leading to a sharp pullback on December 9th from $135 to roughly $110, showcasing the inherent volatility of crypto markets even amidst bullish news. After a brief consolidation, LTC rallied again in mid-January 2025, reaching new highs up to $137.10. This coincided with Canary Capital amending its S-1 filing, a move analysts interpreted as a significant step towards ETF approval, further fueling investor excitement. We then saw another significant correction in late January and early March, with prices dropping substantially from their highs, highlighting key resistance in the $130 to $140 range. The daily chart demonstrates that the $100 level has become a critical psychological support, often being tested and occasionally breached during corrections. From July 2025 onwards, Litecoin has been on a strong upward trajectory, climbing from the low $80s to break past $120 by late July and then reaching above $130 in mid-August. This consistent upward movement reflects sustained bullish sentiment and continued accumulation leading up to the anticipated ETF decision. As of today, September 12, 2025, Litecoin closed strongly at $118.13, showing renewed strength in a short-term rebound. Let's zoom into the one-hour chart to examine the recent price action, specifically focusing on the period from August 23 to August 26, 2025. Here, we can see Litecoin experiencing a gradual downtrend from around $122 to the $107 to $109 range. This short-term bearish pressure might be attributed to minor profit-taking or broader market consolidation after the strong daily gains. However, notice the quick recovery from these lows, indicating healthy buying interest at lower price points. This resilience suggests strong underlying demand, likely from institutions quietly accumulating, as mentioned in the news summaries. The current price movements on the 1-hour chart, especially in the last 24 hours of data provided, show LTC stabilizing around the $115 to $118 range, hinting at a new level of short-term support forming. Now, let's get even more granular with the 15-minute chart, covering the most recent activity on September 10th to 12th, 2025. This timeframe highlights the intraday volatility and swift reversals common in cryptocurrency markets. We can identify minor support around $113 to $114 and resistance near $115 to $116 in early September 10th. Observe the sharp drop on September 11th at 14:15 Universal Time Coordinated, where the price fell over 1.5% in just 15 minutes, only to quickly find buyers and partially recover. Another notable, high-volume dip occurred on September 12th around 1:30 Universal Time Coordinated, dropping from $116.43 to $115.34, once again showcasing immediate buying pressure. The consistent recovery after these quick drops suggests that traders are actively defending key short-term support levels. The current pattern shows LTC consolidating around $117.50 to $118 as we approach the end of September 12th, indicating strong holding power as traders position for the weekend and the upcoming week's developments. Monitoring these rapid shifts and understanding the immediate market sentiment is crucial for short-term trading decisions. Let's summarize the key takeaways from our analysis across these timeframes. Litecoin's long-term trend, as seen on the daily chart, is clearly bullish, especially since late 2024, heavily influenced by positive ETF news and institutional interest. Key support levels to watch are $110 to $112 in the short term, with a more significant psychological and historical support zone around $100 and then $85 to $90. On the resistance side, the $130 to $140 range remains a major hurdle that LTC has tested multiple times. A breakout above this level would signal a very strong bullish continuation. Reasons to be bullish are overwhelming. The very high probability of a spot Litecoin ETF approval by October 2025, increasing institutional adoption with major players anchoring their treasuries in LTC, and a consistent upward trend despite volatile corrections. Bearish sentiment is primarily tied to the general volatility of the crypto market and the possibility of unexpected regulatory delays or negative news surrounding the ETF approval, though this appears less likely given current projections. For traders, consider long positions on pullbacks to strong support levels like $110 to $112, particularly if accompanied by high buying volume and positive news. Short positions could be considered on rejections from the $130 to $140 resistance, but always with caution due to the strong underlying bullish catalysts. In recap, the critical price levels are the immediate support at $110 to $112, the strong psychological support at $100, and the overhead resistance at $130 to $140. We predict a high likelihood, around 70%, that LTC will break above $140 and move towards new all-time highs if the ETF approval materializes as expected in October 2025. This would be reinforced by continued institutional inflows and broad market excitement. There's a moderate 20% chance of consolidation around $100 to $120 if the ETF decision is delayed or meets unforeseen obstacles. A significant drop below $90 has a low likelihood, approximately 10%, mostly reserved for an outright rejection of the ETF or a major black swan event in the broader crypto market. Keep a very close eye on upcoming SEC announcements regarding the Litecoin ETF, as these will be the primary drivers for price action in the coming weeks and months. Also, monitor overall crypto market sentiment and Bitcoin's performance, as they often set the tone for altcoins like Litecoin. Thanks for watching Explain the Charts, and we'll catch you in the next one.